Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's talk on AI and the knowledge economy. Now, this is a timely and important conversation at the intersection of technological advancement and economic transformation. I'm Azaria Tagaya, and I'll be the moderator for today's P Talk. Now, artificial intelligence, or AI, is no longer just a buzzword. It is a general purpose technology and one that is rapidly reshaping how we work, how we create value, and how we grow as societies. Now, in this context, the knowledge of economy is being profoundly influenced by AI's capabilities, where innovation, information, and intellectual capital drives progress. And yet, despite AI's enormous promise, adoption sort of remains uneven. Now, many economies still face significant barriers, including infrastructure limitations, gaps in digital skills, and also uncertainties around productivity impact. So, for that, today we will explore the key findings of APO's recent publication, AI and the Knowledge Economy Transforming APO Members. This will focus on how AI is impacting productivity, where opportunities and gaps lie within the region, and also what strategic actions can help harness AI for inclusive, sustainable growth in the knowledge era. For that, we're honored to have with us Dr. Jaehan Cho to guide us through this important topic. Dr. Cho, how are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you, and we are glad to have you here with us in this talk. Now, first of all, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time today, Dr. Cho. But for the benefit of our viewers, before we get on with the talk, please allow me some time to give a brief background introduction on our speaker today. Now, Dr. Jaehan Cho is the Director of the Industrial Policy Planning Division and Senior Research Fellow at the Korea Institute for Industrial Economics and Trade, or KIET. It is Korea's only national research institute specializing in both domestic and international industry and trade. His research interests include international trade, foreign direct investment, or FDI, international development, global value chains, multinational enterprise strategies, and industrial policy. And he has also published widely in these fields. Since 2020, Dr. Cho has served as Vice Chair of the OECD Committee on Industry, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. He also participates in various policy advisory committees for the Korean government. Dr. Cho earned his BA and MA in economics from Korea University and later received an MS and PhD in economics from Arizona State University, where Nobel laureate Edward Prescott was also one of his dissertation advisors. With that, please welcome Dr. Jaehan Cho. Let's get on with the session, Dr. Cho. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Let me start with my slide. And hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Jaehan Cho, Director of Industrial Policy Planning at KIET. Today, I'll be talking about how artificial intelligence, AI, is reshaping economies, specifically how it interacts with and accelerate the knowledge economy, particularly in the context of APO member countries. I prepared this presentation based on the research with my colleagues at KIET, funded by APO last year. These days, we hear about AI almost every day through all kinds of media. AI has emerged as a transformer force, arguably the most powerful general purpose technology. I'm gonna a little bit talking about more later. General purpose technology of our time. This new technology enable prediction, judgment, and self-improvement through the machine learning and deep learning, like our brain. Many scholars already widely agree on its general purpose nature, as AI is beginning to penetration all stages of business operation, from manufacturing and R&D to even customer service and market. Our research last year had two main goals. First, we trying to explore how AI can support sustainable growth across the APO economies. And second, we trying help shaping the policies that ensure APO members can adapt and benefit through the AIs in context of knowledge economy. To achieve this, we address five key objectives specifically. We discussed the emerging of AI and the knowledge economy, which is the recent promising path for sustainable growth. We also analyze the AI capability within APO members countries using the patent data. We also review the policy trend regarding this new technology. Furthermore, we address a recent issue, the impact of AI adoption on productivity, which is the key for economic growth, especially knowledge economy. Based on this kind of analysis, we tried providing policy recommendation in the context of APO member country. This presentation is organized into 5 sections following the specific topics. I will begin with the rise of AI and its alignment with the knowledge economy. Then I will look at the AI uses across the APO countries and review the key global policy trend and assess the productivity impact. And I'm gonna end with a particular practical policy implication for APO member country. Okay, let me start from the first. And then let me briefly start with the definition of AI. The OECD recently refined its definition of AI to reflect a more sophisticated systems that can infer, adapt, and influence the environments. But as you can see, that they actually defined the AI in 2019, but they redefined the AI in 2023. The newer definition emphasized the output generation. As you know, it's a generative AI like ChatGPT. And this output generation, such as a prediction or decision, the new definition emphasized this output generation with a varying level of autonomy and adaptability. Based on extension of AI definition within a couple of years, only just for 4 years, we can see the improvement of the technology itself happens very fast, and that it has been changing very quickly. Most of people think that why AI is important. AI is economy important lies in its broader applicability, whether it's still production, financial service, or product design. AI enable real-time decision making and automation and productive maintenance. Across these diverse sector, AI boosts efficiency, quality, and competitiveness. Therefore, we can easily think that AI are satisfied with the general purpose technology characteristic. Number one, broad applicability, and number three, broad industrial impact. Also, in terms of its innovation potential, it already perform in some area better than human being. Also, recently, computational power for AI training, which is the probably key technology related to AI performance, have dramatically improved very recently. So this new technology are pretty much satisfied with most of the condition for general purpose technology well. So from now, I'm gonna talk about how AI changed our economy. For doing that, I'm talking in the context of the knowledge economy, which probably you are familiar with that, which is the important and promising path for the sustainable growth for an economy. The knowledge economy prioritizes information and innovation and human capital. In such economy, value creation increasingly depending on how well country and firms can generate and use knowledge, not just the physical assets like a factory or building. But I would not cover the detail about the knowledge economy, but I'm going to talk about a little bit details of knowledge economy in terms of AI. So AI is expected to give a huge impact on knowledge economy or knowledge economy's trend, specifically knowledge creation and innovations. AI acts as a catalyst. It powers data-driven innovation and streamline routine tasks and support collaboration, which is the one of the main trends from the knowledge economy. And also, especially, it also give a huge impact of on workforce dynamics and knowledge work. At the workforce level, AI creating demand for new hybrid roles and pushing the workers' new education systems, and also education system have to evolve for the new technology, and also encouraging human AI collaboration for better decision making and creativity. So based on that, AI technology changed the all kind of our working condition on the knowledge economy. However, there also is a great potential. Uh, even with the great potential, there is also significant challenges regarding the AI on the knowledge economy, privacy risk, algorithm bias, and the black box nature of some AI system raise a serious government's concern. I'm not a technician, but you probably hear that even every day we use the ChatGPT, but there is actually from theories why ChatGPT created that kind of answer for our question. That's pretty much scary a little bit because we are not sure about what kind of algorithm provide that kind of answer. All kind of these things at this moment and concern, especially knowledge economy. Knowledge is how to create the knowledge is the key for the knowledge economy. So this kind of algorithm bias and black box nature is the kind of threat for the knowledge economy. There are also environmental cost and risk of job displacement, which is the one of the important part for policymaker. Also, addressing this kind of challenges requires transparent, inclusive, and ethical AI designs. So now I'm moving to talking about AI technology utilization in the APO members countries. Sometimes when we analyze the capability of regarding the AI usage, parent data help us assess this kind of capability. Parent trend help us assess AI innovation. Actually, in the research, there are a couple of ways to measure the capability of AI. For example, like a relative job posting, which means how many AI-related job posting in this country. This is kind of measures how much demand of the AI technology. The other one is the share of firms who adopt this new technology. However, patent is informative, especially to figure out the technological potential. And furthermore, it is easy to compare the countries due to the data availability. As I mentioned, like related job posting or share of firms who adopt AI, it is hard to observe that data set for multiple countries. So to compare the AI capability within APO members, I think parent information is very valuable. So this graph show the recent patterns of the APO members. Patents filing have slowed slightly since 2019. It might be possible due to the COVID-19 or some economy uncertainty. But despite a little bit slowdown, we can see the innovation regarding the AI with the APO members in terms of number of patents have increasing, especially if you compare in 2017 and 2021, it's going to the more than 1.5 times much more actually patents we can observe. However, there is a huge heterogeneity among the APO members in terms of AI capability. As you can see the graph, Japan and Korea and India have been leading countries among them from 2017 to 2022. Especially the number of patents regarding AI from Korea and India recently has been increasing very quickly. very fast. However, most of APO developing countries reported a zero patent during the same period. Of course, that is the only patent information at the US Patent and Trade Organization, so it might be not absolutely zero, but the number is very minimal. So in terms of patent, APO developing country might be lag behind a lot of actually developing countries. But good news is that compared to global leading APO members such as Japan, Korea, India, has some catching up to do in both volume and velocities. Even in terms of patent, US is the number one by far away as you see this figure. However, compared with the other leading country like Germany and Canada, the UK, a few of the APO leading countries and members have outperformed during the period. So now I'm going to shift from how AI is used to how government are responding. So policy actually framework are essential to shape the AI development and ensure the inclusive benefits. So understanding AI policy is the one of the key part we have to consider. The late 2010s, we saw a boom in a national AI strategy. Regarding AI, many countries passed a law and recognize, which means actually the country recognize the importance of AI and try and promote AI adoption or the improve the capability of this new technology. And sometimes they regulate the some regulated AI some problems also. Based on our research, let me move the next slide. Based on our searching, we observed the 14 APO members have launched plans for AI as a national policy. The mostly, and then based on this searching, we analyzed what kind of part an APO members focus on. And this table showed some clue, and most of the APO countries, 14 actually APO members who announced the national strategy for AI, they mostly focus on economic growth, education, public service, and ethics. And also which part they really focus on that. And the policies emphasize the AI governance and talent development regarding the labor part and research and development support. And also these are and this kind of AI governance, talent development, and R&D support, these are all critical pillars for fostering innovation ecosystems. So some sense APO members interested in the AI policy itself, and then they target to the or various of the policy goals, and also they emphasize the some tools to posting the innovation ecosystem for AI. Now I'm gonna talk about AI and productivity issue. And the economic potential of AI is tremendous, or I don't know whether it is really true or not at this moment. At least a lot of people think that economic potential is huge. At the individual level, it boosts to satisfaction. If you use the ChatGPT, you probably learn a lot of things. Actually, our life the ChatGPT make at least my life is much easier than before. At the firm level, it improved the revenue and it lowered the cost. And nationally, some of the research predicted that AI will raise the GDP growth, sometimes by up to like almost 2% per year. But you probably learned that actually 2% is not just a small number. 2% means after 30 years, your income level actually 2 times bigger than your competitive countries. But realizing these gains require the adoption and integration, not just investment. And how about real world? But unfortunately, recent empirical results are mixed. As I mentioned, a lot of research literature expect the AI give a huge benefit to our life. But some studies, yes, the answer is yes. Study shows a clear productivity gains, particularly in service and small firms. Other highlight the challenge in traditional sector like manufacturing, which means manufacturing sector adopt the AI relatively low, and also there is no productivity gains. So this kind of mixed result suggests that the benefit of AI depending on greatly on context and implementation quality. So AI is a huge potential for the productivity gain, but the consequence is unclear. The lack of the clear evidence on productivity gain from the use of AI create a vicious cycle. Especially individual firms hesitate to adopt AI, and even after adoption, they may not see sufficient result, leading to underutilization. Right? This creates a bad cycle. Therefore, promoting the use of AI and ensuring that it lead to tangible outcome is a key issue for achieving sustainable growth through the AI in the future. But the good news is that, as I show from the presentation, the good news is that evidence of positive effect outcomes from the use of artificial intelligence is increasingly being reported. So we can learn from the industry use cases, especially, for example, automotive and semiconductor. Predictive maintenance and quality control are saving the time and cost evidently. In bio and retails, AI accelerate the product development and demand forecasting. These stories show that targeted AI use pays off. So still we have a huge potential, and then evidently it will actually come true. So as I conclude, I will look at a policy direction and implication that can help APO members thriving in an AI leading knowledge economy based on what I discussed before. So here is the main finding from what I discussed. So strategic investment in AI is now vital. Ethical framework and inclusive governance ensure sustainability and economic growth. And lifelong learning system must evolve to support AI literacy, and cross-sector collaboration must be essential to accelerate innovation and knowledge sharing in the context of the knowledge economy. Also, there is a clear digital dividend divided within the APO member countries, while Korea and India are emerging as a hub for AI technology, but many others are lagging, especially APO developing countries. So in this case, open innovation model and regional specialization could help level the play field and foster joint progress related to this new technology. About the policy, AI policy is not just about economy performance. As we saw in the previous slide, APO country are focus on improving lives through the health and education and equality something. And this broader vision of AI from each country should be reflected in inclusive socially and for the policy makings. And while productivity gains remains uneven, it's evident that AI is reshaping the competitiveness landscape. The digital divided among the firm is growing, highlighting the need for inclusive digital transformation support, especially for small and medium enterprise. And then here is the policy recommendation from our research for developed country and emerging APO countries. For developed members, they should prioritize advanced talent program, infrastructure, and global AI leadership. And for emerging APO members, they should focus on small and medium enterprise adoption and affordable tools and capacity buildings. And also in both case, for developed country and developing country, ethical government must be foundational. For the policy challenge part, challenge might differ. For developing country, they face brain draining and ethical dilemmas. But emerging countries, they probably struggle with the infrastructure and skills shortage. So joint actions, investment, innovation, and collaboration is necessary to bridge this AI divide. So this is the overall summary our research provider. Stronger regional cooperation is crucial as based on the evidence, like a huge heterogeneity across the APO members. So APO member countries can share the resource and develop common platforms and create like a learning network. This will enhance collective competitiveness and kind of a resilience. So this is actually process. So important part is that at this moment, all country has their own interest about the AI. That's why they announced the individual AI policy. But for the sector focused collaboration and policy instrument focus on collaboration, we especially recommend for the in terms of sector, healthcare and automation and manufacturing and smart city, that is the that probably huge potential. About the policy part, AI competency development, and then public-private partnership, and then AI common AI governance framework is the probably provide a huge benefit for APO members for the collaboration. So this is the I almost done. So thank you for your attention. I hope this presentation has provided useful insight on the interplay between AI and the knowledge economy. Due to time constraint, I skipped some of the detail. But for more in-depth analysis of AI, include the specific use case and policy insight, please refer to the APO report we have provided last year. And I look forward to your questions and discussion ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Cho. Now, that was a deeply insightful presentation, and thank you for shedding light on both the promise of AI and also the practical challenges of adopting AI in the knowledge economy. Now, I think from listening to your talk just now, Dr. Cho, what's clear now is that while AI is helping to reshape industries and redefine productivity, as you mentioned, contributing to national development, its benefits can only be truly realized if we have inclusive strategies, responsible governance, policies, and also sustained regional cooperation. So, all right, let's move on to the Q&A session, Dr. Cho. Now, based on your presentation and on your analysis, why do you think that AI adoption remains relatively low across many of the APO member economies, even though we know that AI has very, very clear potential?
Okay, the easy answer is because that's a new technology. Technically, that is new. So still maybe some of firms and the individual cannot access to the this technology. Our recent analysis show that AI adoption kind of mirrors traditional technology diffusion patterns, such as like a larger company and young company and more money adopt more AI technology like such other traditional technology. But AI requires more than algorithm. It relies on supporting infrastructure like a clouding platform, big data system, and digital connectivity. So in many APO countries, these foundation technology are underdeveloped, especially developing APO country, as we saw in the presentation about the parent data. Moreover, firm often lack the awareness or trust in AI's benefit. As I mentioned, the productivity gain, the result is clear. So bridging this gap requires the national digital transformation plan that address both infrastructure and organizational readiness, especially for small and medium enterprise.
Okay, Dr. Cho, let's talk more about AI innovation among APO members. Now, you mentioned just now that AI innovation, there seems to be a significant disparity among the APO member countries. So, what do you think? You mentioned why you think this is happening. So, what do you think is the most urgent action that we need to take right now in order to sort of close this digital divide between the APO member countries?
Okay, we didn't really dig in the country-specific analysis in our report, but this is my best answer actually based on our research last year. Countries like Japan, Korea, and India, uh, I guess already have a strong technical capability, and they are well positioned to lead regional cooperation. However, closing the AI gap require more than knowledge sharings. So there must be sustained investment in basic digital infrastructure and human capital in emerging APO members. And regional AI funds and shared training program and public-private partnership can help uplifting lagging the economies. So the goal should be inclusive AI readiness across the APO regions.
Okay. Could you elaborate more on the patent data and patent trends that you shared just now? Um, you use patent data as a key analytical tool in your report. So, what do patent trends reveal about the strengths of the APO member economies and also some of the weaknesses, maybe, that APO member economies are facing in the adoption of AI?
Okay, I already mentioned a couple of things during the presentation. Parent data shows clear clusters of strengths in Japan, Korea, and India, but also highlights gap in innovation capacity elsewhere. So there is a strength and weakness and together. These trends suggest the need for targeted support in countries with a low patent activity, which may reflect a weak research ecosystem or lack of incentives. So policymakers should not only monitoring patterns, but also encouraging applied AI innovation through the challenging funds, tech transfer, and academy industry collaboration. However, our research last year, we only look at the basic statistics and trend, so it's not enough to reveal the details. So I believe that more in-depth research based on the detail from the national experts have to be followed.
Okay, so that's interesting how you mentioned Japan, Korea, and India are now becoming sort of leaders in the AI space. So, what do you think, in your personal opinion or in your observations, what are the policies or strategies that these countries are using that have contributed to their success in AI?
While it's still early to measure the full impact of AI-specific policy, countries like in Japan and Korea and India benefit from the robust, but they probably benefit from the robust R&D environment and globally competitive firms. So what I mean is the AI policies the announced very recently, and then we don't really see the very detailed implementation so far. So I think their existing actually infrastructure probably helped this country creating the AI infrastructure successfully. This reinforced the idea that strong foundation system, research funds, STEM, education, and innovation incentive for any kind of science and technology prerequisite for AI leadership. And these policies don't need to be AI specific to be effective. General, as I mentioned, general science and technology policy plays foundational role. That's my guess.
All right.
So far.
Now, Dr. Cho, aside from national development and how AI can help industries develop more, what about from a personal standpoint? First of all, Dr. Cho, do you use ChatGPT?
Yes, I do. A lot.
Do you like using it? You mentioned just now that ChatGPT can be quite scary for some users, especially first-time users. Like, how can they generate those answers for you? And sometimes they learn, the ChatGPT system learns from what you feed it. So some people might think it's quite scary. It could be dangerous. Could you elaborate on that? And in your personal opinion, is ChatGPT good or bad for consumers?
For me, I'm pretty much know how to use the ChatGPT personally. One of the reasons is that I don't really actually let the technology make any kind of decision. I'm more like using it to provide us some potential answers, and then I actually choose the final conclusion. For example, one of the actually best part I use the ChatGPT is the sometimes I working with the government a lot, and then policymaker really interesting in the kind of title. Like we need a sexy title for the policy. In this case, I'm really bad on that. In this case, I'm asking, I'm provide input some situation. I need this kind of implementation and the policy. And please give a couple of candidate for the name of the title. And then the ChatGPT always provide actually couple of best choices, and then I can choose that. So what I mean is that still actually collaboration is really important. We have to understand what is the what is the kind of issue from the ChatGPT, why is the really benefit from the ChatGPT. We have to remember that, and then we need to modify this technology for ourselves.
All right.
That's my personal opinion.
What do you think about people using ChatGPT to do their work, professional stuff? Let's say using ChatGPT to write a proposal or maybe a draft for a research paper like you're doing.
Okay, about the research paper, I'm still a little bit negative because we write down some research proposal or research contents itself, but sometimes ChatGPT lie a lot. For example, we say that, oh, please find out some kind of recent literature about this, for example, AI and productivity, and it always provide answers, but most of the case the answer is wrong. And then please give a reference, and then I click the reference and then find out that sentence. Sometimes actually there is no that kind of sentence. So I think about the research we needed to be really cautious. Maybe I use the ChatGPT as a free. That might be the issue, but still I'm a little bit
Understand.
negative. Yeah.
So I guess it's all up to the user itself. You have to be discerning in what's good and what's not about ChatGPT. So you
Right.
can use it to help you, but not 100%. Now,
Right.
what about in automating routine tasks? We know that AI can be used in developing industries, automation, helping to save costs and also save time. But there's a growing concern about job displacement. Like AI will be taking over people's jobs. So you will need less people in the workforce. So what do you think about this? And what are some of the recommendations you think can be given to reskill and upskill the workforce so that we can work together, side by side, together with AI technology?
Yes, the concern is very real, and it's something we have to tackle proactively, in my opinion. Of course, I'm not a labor economist, but based on my opinion, I think one of the most effective approach is launching national reskill and upskill program. And these should focus not only on digital and technical skill, but also on human-centric capability like critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence skill that complement AI. I think also probably private partnership also is key. Industry can help identify the skill in demand, while government can support the design and delivery of training, whether through the short-term certification and online platforms, education things. And Also, finally, I think we need to promote lifelong learning as a norm. As I mentioned, I have to study how to use AI at this moment. Even I got a PhD 10 years ago. That could mean offering learning subsidized, creating modular learning system, or I don't know, recognizing micro credential to making ongoing education more accessible. So that
Okay.
I think three things would be important, in my opinion.
All right. What about the ethics of using AI and also AI technologies in nation building? How can APO members develop ethical guidelines to ensure that AI technologies are used equitably and also be more transparent in the AI technology use?
I think ethical AI is very critical, especially as these technologies become more embedded in decision making. Even I mentioned that I didn't use this technology in decision making. So first, each members, I mean APO member countries, can develop a national AI ethic framework, but it should be based on international standard like transparency, fairness, and accountability. But this each country also tailors to local value and need. And also, it is important to create a multi-stakeholder advisory bodies, bridging together voices from government, industry, I don't know, academia, and even civil society. Ensure the guidelines are both inclusive and practical. And I think in final, I think we need a real enforcement mechanism that might include the algorithm audit, impact assessment, and clear accountability structures. It's also helpful for APO members to work together to share their best practice and perhaps even co-develop the regional standard for ethic AI use. As I know at this moment, each country actually trying doing that separately. I think developing this kind of standard would be benefits to actually all members.
Yes, definitely, Doctor. Now, I think it's been a very comprehensive discussion, and I think you mentioned a lot of things in your presentation just now. So, to briefly wrap up today's discussion, looking ahead, looking forward, what do you think? What are the milestones that policymakers should be working towards in the next 5 to 10 years? And what would a future ready APO economy look like in terms of integrating AI into the economy?
Okay, about the AI, I always, if I choose the one word I always emphasize, it would be general purpose technologies. So a future-ready APO economy is one where AI is not concentrated in a few sector or few firms, even few, countries. So it have to be widely diffused across the society. So in that sense, no country should be left behind. In the 5 to 10 years, we should aim for a couple of milestones. I think number one, all APO member countries should have a functioning national AI strategy. And any SMEs and public institutions should be actively using AI with measurable impact, especially get us like productivity improvement or get us some personal gains, whatever. And finally, regional platform for AI collaboration should be operational and inclusive. So AI must become a tools for empowerment, supporting productivity and fairness and innovation for everybody in APO member countries.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Cho, for your useful insights today and your very comprehensive discussion. But before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts for our viewers who are thinking about this and are interested in AI and the adoption?
I think one thing I finally emphasize the AI technology itself still actually changed very quickly and over time. So I think even I mentioned a lot of characteristics of AI. It's not actually final version of the technology. So we have to keep our eyes on this technology and also keep doing the research. What is the consequence and impact of this new technology evaluation on our economy and society.
All right. Well, definitely wonderful. Thank you again, Dr. Cho, for joining us today and for sharing your wonderful insights on this topic. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we see, APO member economies, the road ahead involves not just catching up, but also choosing the right paths that fit their unique strengths and also aspirations. And as we've heard today from the presentation presented by Dr. Jaehan Cho, the tools, models, and policy frameworks are within reach, and it's time for us to work together to integrate AI technology within our economy so that we can grow as a nation and stronger as a region as well. Once again, thank you to our speaker today, Dr. Jaehan Cho, for sharing your valuable insight. And thank you as well to our audience for joining us in this very critical conversation. Let's continue working together toward a more equitable and AI empowered future. Now, please continue watching the APO Productivity Talks and subscribe to the APO YouTube channel. We hope to see you all in the next session. So, goodbye from me and from Dr. Jaehan Cho. Thank you.
Thank you.